My bestie was pregnant, and she wanted me to take her to a theme park. I was worried about her. Of course, I told her to steer clear of the intense rides, but she just accused me of discriminating against pregnant women. Then, out of spite, she made a beeline for the most extreme attractions in the park. Naturally, she miscarried on the roller coaster. The baby was gone, but right in front of her super male boyfriend, a guy with XYY syndrome and a temper to match. She pinned all the blame on me, said I forced her to go on the rides. The super male saw red. He landed 2 sickening thuds on my temples, and I died on the spot. It was only after I died that I learned the truth. My so-called bestie had been cheating for months. The baby wasn't even his. It was some other guy's. Terrified of what her violent boyfriend would do, she'd set the whole thing up, a deliberate miscarriage, with me as the perfect scapegoat to take the fall. A sacrifice. Then, my eyes snapped open. I was back at the theme park, standing in line for the very same roller coaster. Ronnie, I have to ride this one. It's, like, world famous. You have to come with me. Heidi Gable was bouncing on the balls of her feet, yanking my arm like an excited teenager. You'd never guess she was 4 months pregnant. This was a seriously awkward moment to be reborn. I was already at the theme park with her. The trap was set. Even if I walked away right now, I knew she'd find a way to throw me under the bus. A second chance at life, and I was still stuck to this piece of human garbage. There was no running. There was no hiding. Seeing my silence, Heidi's face hardened. We're finally out having fun. You're not going to be a buzzkill, are you? Her tone was sharp. Ever since we'd stepped through the gates, her agenda had been crystal clear. She only wanted the big stuff. The pirate ship, the giant pendulum, the Tower of Terror. I'd tried to talk her down in my past life. She was expecting the same lecture now, hence the preemptive strike. But this time, I had no intention of stopping her. I smiled brightly. A buzzkill? Of course not. In fact, let me help you get your buzz on. Last time, her super male boyfriend, Gage, didn't even know she was pregnant until after the miscarriage. To break this cycle, I had to strike first. Let's have the baby's daddies help you celebrate this special occasion. While Heidi was busy debating which ride to conquer first, I made an excuse about grabbing some drinks and dialed a number. Gage Dempsey, you're about to be a father. Don't you think it's time you started acting like one? The super male on the other end was clearly confused. Veronica, what the hell are you talking about? Who's gonna be a father? Oh, drop the act. You knocked up our sweet Heidi and now you're trying to bail. Is that it? I let my voice drip with sarcasm. Poor Heidi. She was so happy when she found out. She insisted we come to a theme park to celebrate. I was wondering why she was so obsessed with the scary rides. It all makes sense now. You're such a scumbag. She's trying to numb the pain with adrenaline. She really picked a winner with you. Gage's temper was clearly fraying. You're saying Heidi's pregnant, and you two are at a theme park. Wow, your girlfriend is pregnant and you didn't know. If you're going to play dumb, at least make it believable. Shut up, he roared through the phone. Which park are you at? Text me the address, now. I'm on my way, and you better keep her off those damn rides, or I'll skin you alive. You still talking? I need to know where you are. I deliberately let the silence hang for a moment before replying. You told me to shut up. Gage was so choked with rage he was speechless. And you're going to skin me alive. Gage, if you don't apologize to me right now, you can search every theme park in the state. I could practically hear him grinding his teeth. I'm sorry. It sounded like it cost him every last ounce of rationality he possessed. But he finally managed to stammer out an apology. Good boy. See, that's more like it, I said with satisfaction. I'll text you the address, but I'd hurry if I were you. Heidi's in line for the roller coaster right now. You've got an hour, tops, any later, and I can't promise I can stop her. I hung up the phone. In my past life, Heidi had spent a solid 2 hours in various lines. She'd ridden the giant pendulum, the pirate ship, and the Tower of Terror before finally getting to the main event. The Cloud Ripper, a coaster famous for being the longest and most intense in all of Asia. The truth was, she was terrified of these rides, but the earlier ones hadn't been enough to shake the baby loose, so she'd gritted her teeth and gotten on that final one. This meant Gage had plenty of time to get here, but this time, just letting him show up and discover he'd been cheated on was too easy, too merciful for Heidi and her super male. I can't beat you in a fight, Gage, but that doesn't mean no one can. The memory of his fists ending my life was still fresh. That debt had to be paid. With that thought, I dialed another number. Preston Clayton, this is Heidi's best friend. I hear you knocked her up. There was a hesitant pause on the other end. How did you know? That was an accident. The scumbag playbook was so predictable. Cut the crap. Are you going to take responsibility for this baby or not? She has a boyfriend. How am I supposed to take responsibility? Besides, I already gave her money for an, you knew she had a boyfriend and you still couldn't keep it in your pants. You're an animal. You know that. Even though I despised the Heidi who had gotten me killed, hearing Preston's classic deadbeat routine still ignited my temper. Listen to me, Preston. Heidi is at a theme park right now, and she's planning to jump off the roller coaster. She wants to make a big, public spectacle about how you used and abused her. When the whole world finds out what you did, let's see how you clean up that mess. And by the way, her boyfriend is a super male. He'll probably murder your entire family for sport. That got him. Preston was audibly panicking. Tell Heidi not to do anything crazy. I'm on my way. After the calls, I returned to Heidi with the drinks. She immediately started complaining. What took you so long? I thought you bailed on me. Never. Today's the day I found out my bestie is pregnant. I'm here to celebrate with you, no matter what. I watched her with a serene smile. So, have you decided which ride is first? Heidi frowned, trying to look brave. I only want the really intense ones. The giant pendulum, the pirate ship, the Tower of Terror. Which one should we do? I knew, of course, that in our past life it wasn't a single ride that caused the miscarriage. It was the cumulative effect of all of them, with the massive G-forces of the Cloud Ripper being the final straw. So I replied with glee. Why choose? Adults take it all. You're not missing a single one, sweetheart. Let's start with the giant pendulum. It was early August, scorching hot, and the line was long. I made sure she stayed hydrated, constantly handing her the large iced latte I'd bought. Heidi's mission today was a targeted miscarriage, not suicide, so she dutifully chugged the drink to avoid heat stroke. 20 minutes later, it was our turn. I watched her pull me toward the machine, her jaw set, and I had to hide a cold smile. She'd always been a coward. She wouldn't even watch a horror movie, but to get rid of a baby and frame me, she was willing to put herself through hell. You're not just ruthless to me, Heidi, you're ruthless to yourself. Once the safety harnesses were locked in place, I looked at her pale face and teased, you scared, Heidi, we can still get off. And no, I'm not scared. She forced a weak smile. Why would I be scared? I'm so excited I could burst. That's great. As the machine whirred to life, I quickly pulled out my phone. Come on, sweetie, let's get a selfie. Without waiting for an answer, I pulled her stiff body closer for the camera. Say cheese. The photo captured Heidi's strained, forced smile, her lips practically white with fear. I puckered my lips, snapped the picture, and whispered in her ear, love you. Just then, the pendulum began to move. It started slowly, a gentle swing. The initial lurch and shift in gravity was enough to make you dizzy. Then the speed and angle increased dramatically. I glanced at Heidi out of the corner of my eye, her expression warped from a pained grimace to a slack-jawed stupor, and then back to a twisted mask of agony. Her breathing was erratic, shallow gasps followed by long, held breaths. She was fighting something big. I knew the show was about to begin. Suddenly, Heidi shrieked, I can't hold it. I quickly shifted my legs away, creating as much distance as I could. Pregnant women have to pee a lot, and I had just filled her with a venti-sized latte. It was time for liftoff. Go on, my dear bestie, make it rain. A moment later, a deafening scream erupted from Heidi. It started as a high-pitched, piercing shriek, then rapidly deflated into a wet gurgle. Aawaha. Heidi was wearing a short, white sundress. Her legs, which had been clamped tightly together, suddenly went slack. A torrent of yellow liquid erupted from between them. Even though I was prepared, the sheer volume of the spray was astonishing. As the pendulum swung higher and higher, the yellow stream was whipped into a fine, golden mist, creating a spectacular, if foul, arc in the sky. Whoa, this is so intense, so awesome. Ugh, what just hit my mouth? What is that? Why does it smell like piss? Please don't let that be piss. Holy shit, which one of you sickos is pissing on the giant pendulum? The other riders, who had been screaming in delight, quickly realized something was terribly wrong. A collective, stunned silence fell over the ride, as if someone had hit a universal mute button. Everyone just